Hello, this is Durant, Superintendent of Toledo Public Schools, giving you an update of a presentation just recently I have done at Downtown Rotary, as well as various areas of the community, and presenting on TPS of the past, the present, along with the future. In regard to getting the community and reminding them of our past, knowing that before coming on board, we had cut $100 million out of the district budget. We had cut athletics. We had turned around and cut transportation. We had cut programs within the district. We had cut teachers' pay within the district, as well as other educators' pay within the district. At the same time, we still have the highest poverty rate in the state of Ohio, as well as the highest homelessness in the state of Ohio, and foster care numbers continue to grow each and every year. So as we roll into the present, we discussed the graduation rate that has been huge increases within TPS that will be presented this fall on our state report card. When you look at our 4-year graduation rate, you had shown, what I've shown in the graph is that over the 5 years prior to me coming on board and the administration team working together of changing and making changes in the district, you can see our graduation rate over 5 years hovering in the lowest 60 percentile, from 63% up to 64%. But you can see, beginning immediately after we have taken over and doing things differently within the district, we had jumped from 64% to 79%, which is a 16% increase in 4-year graduation rate, meaning we weren't digging ourselves out of a hole, we were digging ourselves out of a grave, in essence of climbing within our graduation rate as an all-body student. But when you look at our African Americans, which had a huge increase in coming on board, but when you look at the 5 years prior of coming on board, they were in the high 50 percentile, and just when we started 60%. We had increased over the last 5 years from 60% to 80% for African Americans, which is just around 20% increase for African American students graduating here in TPS, which is something to be proud of because we believe will be the highest graduation rate of urban district in the state of Ohio, as well as the highest graduation rate for African Americans, and throughout the United States in regard to the increase, but more importantly, the rate itself. At the same time, we look at our Hispanic students. When you look at the 5 years prior, they were at 60% all the way to 57%. Before us taking over, and now taking over in 2014 up into 2018, Hispanic students that went from a 57% graduation rate to 72%. And when you look at our Caucasian students, the same increases we have seen within themselves. And that when you look at the prior year, they had maintained in the higher 60s as well as low 70s. Well, they had went from 71% all the way up to 80% as well within TPS. And when you look at our students with disabilities, which is alarming, the prior years to coming on board, less than half of our students in special needs was graduating. They had went now from 54% all the way up to 70%, and we continue to increase those numbers as we speak. But more importantly, that's more compelling, we had literally closed the graduation gap between Caucasian students as well as African American students, despite both of them going upward. African Americans have doubled their increase to where both of them now are at an 80% graduation rate, which is huge when you talk about closing the achievement gap and a racial perspective. At the same time, our high schools have all had double-digit increases, Scott being the highest at 22% within their graduation rate. Our third grade guarantee has shot up from 71% to 85%, and we believe come this fall, it will be around 90%. But at the same time, those impacts have huge increase of our enrollment. Our enrollment, if you look at it prior in the graph, you'll see our enrollment we were losing kids at about 2,500 per year. We believe with the initiative that we're doing, what we call the Rebirth of Macomber Whitney 2020, and developing these magnet schools such as the Aerospace and Natural Science, Jones Leadership Academy of Business, as well as the Med Tech School coming on board, as well as the bilingual schools. These have now shown an increase of our enrollment. We believe we will receive another 25 students over the next several years, which will increase our bottom line budget. So the main thing is to be able to show in regard to the impact we have had, in essence, coming from 2014 when I have started over in this tenure, so people can truly see the data that we have moved the needle and taking kids and graduating at a higher percentile despite kids coming in kindergarten, 82% in TPS come unprepared, as well as needing severe interventions, and we're able to turn that around, see to it that they graduate on the end. So again, you could tap into it within my bio, but we continue to want to update this community so they can have a true sense of what we've done within this community and having an impact on students, which want some of the most greatest challenges. So we again thank you for the community, for your support in TPS. We ask you to continue to be TPS proud. You should be more than proud of the data that we've had and the impact we've had over the last 5 years. What you will see when you search urban districts across the state as well as across the country, you will see that TPS is one of the highest as well as the most increases in growth that you'll see, and that gives you something to hang your hat up being proud of Toledo as well as TPS. So again, I'm Dr. Romulus Durant, Superintendent of Toledo Public Schools, a proud graduate of Wade High School, class of '94. Thank you for watching.